All right, let's go ahead and start. We're gonna go on our backs. First, just start with a little windshield wiping in the knees. So take your feet hip-width distance apart. Actually, take them wider. Take it to the width of your mat. And just let those knees fall from one side to the other. Just getting a little bit of movement in here. Gentle movement. And the next time you bring your knees over to the left, let's keep them there. So just keep your knees dropped over to the left. Take your arms into that cactus arm position. If you want to place your left foot on top of your right knee, you can. There shouldn't be any pain in the knee. It should just be a little bit of an assist for that hip stretch and twist. Give it one more breath here. And then take the foot off, bring the knees up through center and over to the right. And then if you'd like to take that right foot on top of the left knee, you can. Take a deep breath here. One more. Good. Take that right foot off, place it back on the floor, bring both knees back up through center, and just walk the feet back in towards parallel. And then we'll do a couple of little bridges here. You're just gonna tuck that tail, roll yourself up to the shoulders, take a pause at the top. Inhale, we'll take the arms overhead. Exhale, you're gonna lay the spine down, rolling one vertebrae at a time. Upper back, mid back, low back, then your tailbone and your butt. Then the arms can come down. So really try to make sure that you get each segment to come down and up, individual, from the one below or above it, right? So I want to try to move the spine so that I'm not just coming down in big chunks. I want to try to come down on each vertebrae as best I can. And that low back gets real challenging, then the arms come down. Okay, so we're exhaling, rolling all the way up, pausing at the top, inhaling, moving the arms overhead, holding the arms overhead as you exhale and roll down. Try to really articulate. Deep scoop of the belly. Good, and then arms come down. Let's go one more. Exhale, roll it up. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, arms come down. Good, wiggle the feet a little closer together, and we're gonna just do a couple of little bridges here with a flat back this time. So now you can lift your hips and lift your back up all like 1 unit, and then we're gonna bring the legs, bring the hips back down. So give a little squeeze to your thighs as you lift and lower the hips. I still want you to try to feel like you've got this connection of your pubic bone and belly button, so that you don't feel like you're just lifting up with your low back. But really the spine should feel like it stays relatively in a neutral position and you're lifting from your hips and your glutes. So I don't want you to feel like you're arching into your back as you lift your hips. Let's go for 4 more, dipping down, going up, 4, 3, 2, 1. So your feet should be pretty close together, holding the hips up. We're gonna alternate marching. So you're gonna pick up the right foot, bring it into this tabletop, put it down, pick up the left foot, bring it into tabletop, place it down. So the feet should kind of land relatively close together, right? They're pretty close together, so they're kind of staying in that center line. And I want you to try to watch that your hip points don't dip from side to side. Can you keep that consistent space between the bottom ribs and the top of the pelvis? And I want you to take your time here so that you feel that juggle or that shift that happens as you transfer weight from foot to foot. Good, just a couple more back and forth. Arms are down by your side. You're pressing into the back of the shoulders, trying to spread the collarbones. Last round. Good, the next time that right leg comes up, hold it up. We're gonna take that right leg straight to the ceiling. You're gonna lower it down to hover, and then you're gonna bend the knee in towards the chest. Straighten it up to the ceiling, lower it down to a hover, and pull it in. So we're only gonna take that right leg as low as you can maintain the neutral spine. If you feel like that leg lowering brings you into a deep back bend, then you're probably going too far. So I want you to keep that space the same between the ribs and the pelvis. Let's go for 6. Just holding the hips at 5. Try to keep pressing into that left foot. Here's 4, 3, 2, last one. Take that right leg up to the ceiling, little pulse, up, up. There's 8, 7, it should come right from that glute. 5, 4, squeezing that crease. 2, 1, place the right foot down, hold the hip steady, take the left knee to the tabletop. Here we go, straight leg goes up, lowers down, bend the knee into the chest, extend the leg up to the ceiling, lower down, pull it into the chest. Making this nice big circle. Again, trying to have some stability in the right hip so it's not letting you lower towards the floor. And then you gotta pick up the left hip so it's not dipping down to the left. Let's go 5, 4, check that right knee, get it in its lane, don't let it list off to the right. 3, 2, 1, take it straight up to the ceiling, little pulse, up, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both feet back down on the floor. Slow roll with control all the way down. Good job. Bring those knees into the chest. Give them a little hug. Take them wide to the side of the ribs. Just rock back and forth on that low back a little bit. Good. Arms down by your side, and we're just going to bring the knees back over the hips in that tabletop position. And then from here, we're just going to make little open, close with the knees. So just like a little clamshell, you're opening the knees, closing the knees. So I want to just keep this butterfly action happening, right? With the knees opening and closing. I want you to create a little tension in your hips every time you open the knees. Challenge those muscles to actually pull the knees apart. But keep the feet pressing together. And now we're going to start to lower and lift the legs. So just keep that flapping as you bring the toes to tap. And then keep flapping as you bring the knees back up. Flapping the knees as you go down to tap. And flapping them on the way back in. A couple more like this. Now you might get like 1 or 2 flaps on the way up and on the way down. Good, 1 more. When those legs come back up to tabletop, keep that butterfly in action. Hands come behind the head, peel the head and shoulders up. So now we're gonna make a little circle with the legs. You're gonna open the knees, you're gonna extend the legs out, squeeze the thighs together. Now turn the toes back up to the ceiling so the legs are parallel and pull them in. They're gonna externally rotate, so now you've got that diamond in the legs. They're gonna extend and stay externally rotated till they're straight. Then they're gonna turn back to parallel and come back in. So we externally rotate, send the legs out, turn parallel, pull them in. Externally rotate, squeeze the inner thighs, then from parallel, pull in. Let's go for 5. If you need to put the head and shoulders down, you can. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to go the other way. So you're going to push out parallel, externally rotate, pull the knees wide, pull the knees back together at the end. Push out straight, externally rotate so heels are together, pull them in, knees are wide, then bring the knees together. Here we go. 8, 7. So hopefully you're starting to feel some work in the thighs and the hips. Some warmth in the joint. Let's go for 4, 3. Get the shoulder blades up. 2. 1. Keep the knees wide. Tap your elbows. Extend the legs out to squeeze. Bring them in. Tap your elbows. Straighten out, squeeze. Here's 8. 7. 6. Try to get those shoulders up. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Good job. Bring those knees in. Give them a little hug. Take those legs straight out. Reach the arms overhead. We're going for that full stretch of the body here. Flex back on the toes. Let the back arch a little bit. And then we're going to do our roll up. All right, feet are anchored, heels are on the floor, toes are pointed up. You're going to exhale, hands come up, the shoulders come up, sit all the way up tall. Let's just reach past those toes, flat back. Stretch the hamstrings. Sit up tall, roll it back down. Good, 4 more like that. Rolling all the way up. Flat back hinges you forward from the hips, reaching over the toes. And all the way back. Here we go for 3. Here's 2. Last one. Hinge and reach, and just hold this hinge reach. Bring your hands down and maybe grab for the ankles or the shins. And you're going to let your chest keep extending towards your toes for that hamstring stretch. Maybe you can grab the bottom of your feet. And once you feel like you've gotten as flat in the back as you can and as long in your spine as you can, then you're just going to round over the legs, let your head hang. You can always soften the knees a little bit here if you need to. And just give me 2 breaths here. Let the chin fall towards your chest. Try to expand your ribs with your breath. 1 more big breath in. Good job. All right, you're just going to bend your knees. Keep your feet on the floor. We got kind of this long bend here. And then hands are going to come behind the ears. And we're going to exhale and tuck and roll back towards the back of your tailbone, right? So your sit bone's slightly tucked under. And then we're going to pick up this left leg and rotate to the left to tap the right elbow to the left knee. And then you're going to turn back center and extend the leg out across the room. Pull it in, twist, extend it out. Pull it in, twist, extend it out. Let that right sit bone be nice and heavy. You can flex the feet and press into that right heel. Here we go, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it here. Just keep that elbow and that knee touching. Just give it that deep squeeze. 1 more big rotation. And bring that foot back down, center. You need to readjust. Come back, pull that belly back, right knee lifts. Rotate to the right. Good, come back center, extend the leg. Tap the elbow to the knee and twist. So keep your elbows really wide and kind of in that peripheral vision so that you don't have them coming in to tap, but the actual tapping of the elbow and the knee is coming from your deep rotation in the core. Let's go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold this twist, hold it, really get that knee in, that elbow to touch, turn the chest to the right, and center, good job. Roll it up, 1 more. Hands are gonna come forward, exhale, tuck your tail, roll it back. You're gonna make a circle with the arms. They're gonna come up towards the ears, wide to the side of the room, circle forward. Deep tuck of that tail, draw the belly back. Watch that your head stays back over your shoulders. Last 6, you can squeeze the knees together. Here's 5. But I want those front ribs going down into the front pockets of your pants. Here's 3, try to keep them in. 2, last one. 1, good job. Cross the ankles, roll over the hands and knees. to all fours. All right, we're just gonna get a couple of cat and cows in here. Round the back, lengthen. We're gonna press away from the floor, separating the shoulder blades, and then lift your sit bones and draw those shoulder blades together. Last two. One more. Good. Go ahead and find that kind of more neutral position for the spine. You're going to step the right foot back, left foot back, run our plank. Just holding this plank here, shoulders down out of the ears, tail towards your heels. And I want you to get this little tuck. So you're going to feel like your pubic bone pulls towards your belly button, and it's just this little pulse. So even though you're already in this long low back, I want you to feel your low belly fire enough to try to drag that pubic bone even just a centimeter or an inch closer towards your belly button. So it's just this little pulse, like you're taking your top ribs towards the top of your hips. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to shift your weight back over your heels and then back over your wrists. Bending your knees, going back and forward. Back and forward. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it back. Little pulses here over those knees, staying with the shins parallel to the ground. Just letting your knees and your hips go up and down. Last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten into your legs. Downward dog. You're going to bend one knee, let the opposite heel drop. Stretch the back of the leg. Switch it. Other foot goes down. Bend the other knee. One more time. Switching back and forth. Try to find that stretch through the calf and the hamstring. And then switch. All right, let's go ahead and take this right leg. It's going to go up and back behind you. Let's bring it forward to tap that right elbow and hold it. Now you're just going to take that knee towards your wrist and then kick it back up to the elbow. Slide it down to the wrist and then up to the elbow. Just 3. Here's 2. Last one. Step it between the hands. Lower that left knee and just let your hips come forward towards this right heel for a moment. And then we're going to shift the weight back. Your toes can come up and you're going to flex through that right leg or right foot. And this right leg is going to go straight. Try to get the top of your head to reach forward, get nice and flat and go back. Good, and then we'll come back forward, letting the hips drop towards the heel. So we're just going to kind of move back and forth through that. If you need extra padding for that left knee, you can always hold up your yoga mat or add a little pad. And then we're going to pull back and stretch here. Give me just 2 more like that. Coming forward, letting the hips fall forward. Exhaling, pressing back, straightening into that right leg. And again, I'm going to try to stay up on my fingertips enough that I can keep my back nice and flat. And I feel like my tailbone's sticking back behind me. One more. Inhaling, hips fall forward. Exhaling, taking it back. Now keep that right leg straight. Left hand's going to be on the floor. Can you take your right hand just into the little crease of your hip and feel like you're going to keep your hip down as you start to turn your chest towards the right. So you're turning your chest towards that right leg, but I'm just kind of holding my hip down so it doesn't come up as I rotate. One more big breath here. Good. Place that right foot on the floor. Come all the way up so that you're in this kind of 90-degree bend at the knees. And then you're going to take your right hand to your hip, left arm over the ear, and we'll just side bend up and over. I want to still draw that pubic bone up to my belly button. I want to feel that in the front and the side of this left hip and oblique. If you want to start to let your hips come forward a little bit, you can, but just don't sacrifice the low back here. Good, inhale back up, hands to your ears, and I want to just exhale as you drag your belly button back, your pubic bone up, and you squeeze your elbows in towards your face. And then you're going to inhale, let your chest come up and let your hips fall a little bit forward and get a little bit of a back bend. Couple more like this. Exhale, feeling like somebody's taking your belly button and pulling it through your low back as you bring your elbows together and your pubic bone up towards your chest. And then you're going to inhale, open the elbows, let the hips fall forward. One more. Exhale, belly button pulls back, pubic bone rigorously pulls up towards your chest. Elbows tuck in. And then inhale, open up, let the hips come forward. Good. Hands down on either side of that right foot. Grab for those weights if they're not close by. Come them right out in front. You're going to tuck those toes, pick up that back knee, and be in this lunge. All right, so we're in this hovering position. Grab your weights. You're staying straight with that back leg, and we're just going to take the arms wide like a T, and then back down. Wide like a T, and down. Legs are just holding here. Here's 8, 7, 6. Try to pick it up from the back of the shoulder. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold those arms up. Little pulses up, up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing them back to your hips and then swing them all the way forward like they're going to tap in front of your face or the top of your head. All the way back to the hips, all the way forward. Here we go. 8, 7. Pick your belly up off your thighs. 6, 5, 4, 3, the palms are facing the floor. 2, 1, hold it back, turn the pinkies up to the ceiling. Little lifts of those arms up to the ceiling. 10, 9, you're in this long lunge. 8, 7, 6, try to stop at your hips. 4, 3, 2, 1, come all the way upright. Now we're in that crescent lunge. We're gonna bend the elbows, lower that left knee, press out straight. Bend, straighten. So left knee's doing the bending and the straightening. Arms are punching forward and pulling back. Here's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Palms are going to face the ceiling. Right arm's going to swing out wide and back to center. Just stay upright. Just that right arm and center. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Last one. Good. Both arms back forward. Little pulse up, up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both hand weights go down, hands on the floor. You're just going to step the left foot a little bit more forward. So hopefully you are in a shorter stance and both legs are going to be straight and your hips are going to point towards the floor. They're just going to fold over that right leg. Try to pull the right hip back. Now can you keep your left hand on the floor and then start to turn yourself to the right. So again, if you want to stick your thumb in the crease of your hip and kind of pull your right hip back as you turn, just to kind of keep your hips from turning with you. One more big breath. Good, both hands go down, step it back to plank, hold your plank here, and we've got those little tucks again. So pubic bone to belly button, little tuck here, it should be small, but it should feel like you're firing up the muscles right in between the two front hip bones, right below the belly button. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look forward, lower those knees. Here's our chaturanga push-ups. Tap the elbows, push back up. Tap the elbows to the ribs, push back to straight. Here we go for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way down to your belly. Legs are gonna come up, cubic bones rooted down. So I've got my thighs lifting. We're gonna take those arms back, reach them back behind you. See if you can get a little higher lift. Lift the belly button off the floor. And now I'm gonna swing my right arm forward. My left leg's gonna lift. And then I'm gonna switch. Left arm comes forward, right leg's gonna lift. Switching back and forth. Whichever arm is forward, the opposite leg is lifting. I'm trying not to feel like I'm rocking from side to side. And I'm trying not to feel like I'm lifting and lowering the whole time. Just my arms and legs are moving. Here's 5, 4, lift from that glute. 3, keep your legs straight. 2, 1, 1. Both hands back down under those elbows. Push back either the knees or the toes. Send it back to downward facing dog. If you want to take a little child's pose in between, you can. And then we'll pick up those hips. Pedal the feet a couple times. And we'll go to the left. Left leg inhales up and back. Take a deep breath. All right, on your exhale, left knee, left elbow. Hold it there. It's going to slide to the wrist. Pick it up. Slides to the wrist. Pick it up. Here's 3, 2, last one. Good, step it right in between the hands. Lower the right knee. Let the hips fall forward for the stretch. I've got a little helper in here.
So you're not recording.
I am recording. Oh. So hips are falling forward, and now we're going to exhale, flex the left foot, pull back the toes, and straighten the leg. So I'm trying to stay long in my flat back. Try not to be here and rounded. If you need to, get your hands up on blocks. And I'm trying to drop that left cheek towards the floor. Good. Now we're going to just kind of flow back and forth here. So hips are going to go forward. And then exhale, hips are going to go back. Let's get a few more like that. Inhale, taking them forward. Exhale, taking it back. Let's go for 3. Here's 2. Last round. Hold that left leg straight. You're going to take your right hand on the floor, and again, that left thumb is going to kind of just hook into the crease of my hip, so I can keep my hip down, and then I'm going to start to turn my chest towards my left leg. Keep your toes pointed up. Watch that the leg doesn't turn with you.
Isn't that
It feels good. Good. One more. Hurts in a good way. One more big breath. And exhale, bring it down. So now that left foot's going to be down, we're going to come up and have that kind of 90-degree bend here in the left knee and the right knee. Yeah, you can be on that mat. Hands are going to come behind the ears. And here's where we're going to do that pubic bone to belly button. And we're going to exhale, bring the elbows together, really draw that pubic bone up. You should feel how much that challenges that front of the right hip. And then you're going to inhale, lift the chest and let the hips come forward a little bit and get a little bit of a back bend. Just try to still hold on to some control in the low belly. Exhale, pull back, pubic bone up, chest towards your pubic bone, elbows in. And then inhale, lift the chest, take the sit bones back. Good. 3 more like this. Breathing, almost as though I'm trying to get that cat and cow in my spine here. So my belly button's pulling back through my spine. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Go ahead and find the back toes, hands come to the floor, and you're gonna tuck the back toes and lift the knee and reach down for those weights. All right, here we are in our hovering position again. Palms are gonna face each other, just taking those arms wide and down. Wide and down. Here's 8, 7. Try to get a little bit low in that leg so you feel like that left thigh is parallel to the ground the best you can. Here's 4, 3, 2. Hold those arms up, little pulse. 10, 9. Try not to be in your neck. Try to be in between your shoulder blades. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing those hands back. Palms face the floor. Swing them forward. Good. Try to pick your belly up off your thighs. Get that length in your low back. Here's 8. Pick those arms up. 7. Try to keep them at the same level as your body. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take those hands back, pinkies to the ceiling, little lift, lift. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5. Get those arms up. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Hinge back. Here we go with those elbows bending in. We're gonna bend the right knee to tap the floor, pull the elbows back. So I'm not coming all the way up. I'm just coming to a place where I can straighten the right leg back and stay a little bent in my left. Here's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold this lunge. Just that left arm. I'm going to turn the palms to face the ceiling. It's going to sweep open and close. Sweep it open and close. Hips are staying steady. Just reaching through that right arm as the left arm moves. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both arms forward, little lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both weights are going to go down. You're going to step that right foot forward a little bit. So now I've got a little more like a triangular shaped leg. Your hands have to go on blocks. Go for it. But I want to pull my left hip back just enough that I feel like my hips are level and square to the floor. First, I'm just going to let my head hang and stretch the back of that left leg. Take another breath here. Good. Now, lengthen back out through your spine. Take that left hand into the hip flexor there. Keep your right hand on the floor and then start to turn your chest towards the left. You can always soften that front knee if you need to. Give it one more big inhale. Exhale, turn back towards the floor. Both hands on the ground, step it back to your plank position, hold it here. And we're gonna come into our side plank. So we're gonna go on the forearm. You're gonna lower down in that right hand. And I want your right hand to turn a little bit towards that right corner of your mat. And then we're gonna be on the outer edges of the feet, or you can have one foot in front of the other. All right, from here we're just doing our little hip lifts. Little lift, little lift. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay on the outer edge of the right foot. Just slide that left foot up the inner seam of the right leg. And then can you kick it forward and then sweep it back. You're going to slide that foot up the inner seam of the leg, sweep it forward and back. 2 more. Slide it up, extend it out, back. Last one. In, out, back. Go to your plank. Switch sides. Left forearm's down. It's a little bit angled towards the corner of your mat. You can either stack the feet or stagger them. And you're just going to lift the hips. Lift the hips. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just 4 of these. Slide that right foot up the inner seam. Extend it out. Swing it back. Slide it up the inner seam of your pants. Extend it forward and back. 2 more. Pull that leg in. out, back. Last one. In, out, back. Come on to the forearms. Stay in your plank. Both forearms on the ground, parallel. Chest is forward. Little tuck of the tail. There's that tuck, tuck. So it's small. And again, it's that pubic bone to belly button. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your belly. Come into the Sphinx pose. Press into the tops of the feet. Elbows are on the ground. Feels like you're dragging your elbows back as your chest is lifting. And I got my belly lifted off the floor. So my pubic bone is really the only thing rooting down there with my thighs. Good, now just keep your right forearm on the ground. Bend your left knee. See if you can reach back to that foot. And try to bring the heel towards your glutes or even the outside of your hip. And now push down into your pubic bone again. So not your hip points and not your belly button, but your pubic bone. And see if you can find a stretch to the front of that left thigh.
I did it.
You feel it? Look. Yeah. Lucy feels it. Good. Take one more big inhale here. Release that foot back. Other side. Right knee's gonna bend. Reach back to the foot. Pull it in towards your butt. Bring the outer hip. Or maybe it's enough to just hold it. But you push down into your pubic bone. It's gonna lift your knee off the floor a little bit.
That hurts. I'm doing it on the floor.
I know, but that's probably too much, Lucy. Lucy's a little bit of a pretzel. All right, letting go of that back leg. You're gonna just move your weights a little bit out of your way if they're in front of your face. And you're gonna keep the head and shoulders lifted, but the feet are gonna be on the floor. And now I'm gonna pick up those arms in that cactus arm. And I wanna just do that rotation. So elbows go down, wrists come up and back. Elbows go down, wrists go up and back. So it's this external rotation in the arm bone. I've got that 90-degree bend in those cactus arms. And then I want to kind of add this lift to the chest. So every time I pull my wrists back and my elbows forward, I want to feel my chest come forward and then lower down. So if you can imagine you're like holding a bar along the back side of your shoulders and in your hands, every time you push up into the bar, the elbows go down, right? Lift. Keep those hands lifting the same height as your shoulders. Get them up. Here's 4, 3, 2. Hold it here. Just reach those arms over the ears, straight ahead, and back in. Overhead, back in. There's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, thank you. 1, good job. Hands on either side. We're gonna go for our push-ups. So take those hands a little wide. You can tuck your toes or stay on your knees, and you're gonna go up into your push-up position. And then we're gonna do our push-ups from here. There's 10, so you're either on your knees or on your toes. There's 8, hands are wide. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Halfway, little pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it back, child's pose. Palms can be on the floor. And then just walk your hands forward till you get your hips over your knees. And then press into the palms. Turn those biceps forward and start to lower your head towards the floor, your chest towards the floor. You can rest your forehead. But I want you to pick the arms up away from the ground so we can make this a little stretch for the shoulders, chest, and maybe even the upper back. Get one more big breath here. Good. Roll yourself up. Grab one of those hand weights. And we're just gonna pivot onto the right knee so that you've got your right knee on the floor, that left leg out straight, and that right hand on the ground. And now the arm is just gonna go up and to shoulder height. Up to the ceiling, shoulder height. Good. Once you feel like you've got this, if you wanna lift your left leg, it's gonna hover in the air. Flex the foot, just moving that arm. Here's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull that elbow in, just the rotation of hand to the belly, hand to the ceiling. Keep that elbow tight by your ribs. Keep that left leg reaching long. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place that left hand weight down. You can keep that left hand on your hip, but now that left knee is going to bend in towards your belly and press out to straight. Bend it in towards your chest. Push it out like you're going to stand on it. There's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. It's going to tap the floor. Pick it up. Point the toes. Tap. Lift it up. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it up. You're going to come onto your right forearm and your left hand. Now I'm going to bring that knee forward to tap my elbow and extend it back up on a diagonal. Bring it forward and back. So now my hips are kind of 3/4 of the way turned down. Knee comes in and then I'm going to press back straight and squeeze from my glute. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Here's your little circles. Little circles. 10, 9, 8. Try to lift them up. 7. Keep your back engaged, your belly engaged. Here's 5, 4, 3. I want everything in the core cinching around the spine. Let's reverse our circle. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Bring it down. Let's go to the other side. So left knee is on the floor. Right foot steps out towards the edge of your mat. First, it's just going to be this right arm going from shoulder height to the ceiling. Shoulder height to the ceiling. So once you feel like you got your balance, you got that arm movement, you can float that right foot. And I'm trying to get it to hips level. Here's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull that elbow in. Here's that rotator cuff. Elbow stays by your side. You're opening that door on a hinge, right? So that upper arm is the door. Hinging, opening, keeping it tight to the ribs. There's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Weight goes on the floor, hands come to the hip. You're just going to bend the right knee to the chest. Press it out like you're going to move the wall. Pull it in, push it out. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Try to keep that leg up. 3, 2, 1. Point the toe, tap the floor, pick it up. Tap, lift. There's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold that leg up, come onto that left forearm and that right hand. And now I'm slightly turning my hips towards the floor. Right knee is going to come forward to tap the elbow. Send it up and back on the diagonal. Tap, press back. Crunch it in, press it back. Here's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it back. Here's your circles. 10, 9, squeeze it back. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, reverse, 10, 9, 8, keep that leg up, 7, cinch that belly in, here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good job guys, bring it both down. Just take that left knee behind your right, separate your feet, and start to send your hips back. Get a little stretch, then bring it forward, and just switch the legs. So now the right knee goes behind the left, separate the feet, then we're just gonna hinge back. We're still hovering the butt in the air. Stretch the hips. Good, come on up. Go ahead and just have a seat. And we're gonna try to stack the shins. Okay, so left shin's gonna be on the bottom. I'm gonna have my foot flexed. And I'm gonna bring my right ankle all the way onto the top of my left knee. Now, your knees may be really far apart. Hands can go behind you. And we're just gonna sit here and take a couple breaths. Try to encourage this right knee to go down towards that left foot. Now, we're not gonna push on the knee and force it. If you feel any pain in the knees, back out of this and maybe straighten that bottom leg. And we'll go for a different hip stretch. But if you can sit here, give it a couple breaths and see if you can get the hips to relax. And again, if that's too much, then maybe you come here, right? With the bottom leg bent and put on the floor, top ankle crossed. But if you can, you're gonna come here. Now, if you feel like you can start to hinge forward and let that knee fall, you can even bring the hands out in front. Just 2 more breaths here. Take some time to get through all those muscles and try to get them to soften. So be patient. 1 more big breath. Good. Now just place your left hand on that right knee, wherever you are, and get yourself a twist. Now if you're up like this, you can even just rotate here. 1 more big inhale, get real tall. Good, back to center. Let's switch it. So that right ankle and shin are on the bottom, left ankle's on top, and again, we're gonna try to go right on top of that knee, so you feel like you're kind of sitting with your foot almost hanging over the edge of the knee. If you look down, the shins feel like they're parallel and stacked. Now again, hands can come behind you if you lift your chest, and feel like your pelvic bowl can pour forward. And there's gonna be differences from side to side. So this might be your better side or your easier side. The other side might be a little bit more challenging, or vice versa. So if you feel like you can bring your hands forward on this one, you can totally do that. But we're just trying to let gravity do its job by pulling that knee down and letting the muscles soften a little bit. Give me 3 more big breaths here. One more. Good, sit up tall, bring that right hand onto the left knee, and get a little twist as you're nice and tall in your spine. Trying to unkink that hose that lives down the center of the spine. Good, back to center. Last one, just those inner thighs. So we'll take it with both legs forward. And again, hands can come behind you, but you want to encourage those sit bones to move back and these 2 front hip bones to go forward. So if hands behind you helps with that, then take hands behind you. If it feels good, you can bring hands in front. But I want you to feel this through the inner thighs and not in one particular spot like the knee. It should feel pretty uniform through the whole inner thigh compartment. Give me 2 more big breaths. Good job, guys. You are done. If there's anything else you want to stretch, go for it.